Hey there, this is John Anthony Francis Wilcox in a much lower voice, it seems. And today is Sunday, the 20th of July, 2025. Hello, good to see you. So, I usually do this on a Saturday, but I have very good reason for doing it today instead. And not just because today is the birthday of my friend Susan and my friend Larry, dear friends both, and I hope they have, if they see this, I'm wishing you a very happy birthday. But actually, it's that I was so exhausted yesterday. Um, I had, I guess I had a reasonably average work week, working on stuff for Prague Sheet and prepping because I was gone Friday and Saturday up to Hartford to Connecticut, which, as you may know, I try and do every year. And I went on the Friday with my friend Pete, and on the Saturday with my friend Suzanne. And both were totally unique experiences. Um, but both had a commonality in terms of Pete and Suzanne. They both were taken with how very friendly Connecticut is. It is its own animal. It is, I would say, the best currently and easily the best convention you can go to in terms of feeling part of, having a good time. Um, I was thinking about it, and if I have a downside to conventions I've gone to in more recent years, actually since the late 80s, they became more about money and investment, and the focus was on people gotta get that thing, gotta get that thing, gotta buy that thing, gotta get this thing that's gonna be worth some money. And Connecticut isn't that. Yes, there's plenty of stuff for sale, and both of my friends dropped some definite coin on stuff that they. I know Pete got himself a $50 teapot, and Sue's got her a beautiful $35 art thingy and other stuff. And they both bought, and they both had a great time too. That's important. I had a great time. I already knew I would, but I'm so glad they both did. So, why is it different? I think it's because, how can I say this? Is it a community or a series of communities that intertwine, seeking each other and finding each other? Um, there's a lot of love going on there, and I know that sounds corny, but yeah, I think that's the big thing. Everyone enjoying the presence of everyone else. That's what it's about more than I'm going to buy that thing. I'm going to go see that event. I mean, people are buying that thing and they are seeing that event, but I haven't felt this way about a convention since I first started going, in like 1980. I think that was my first convention. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think it was what they used to call a Turkey Con, a creation convention in New York City. It's usually the weekend after Thanksgiving, and pardon me as I blow my nose. The call of the trumpeter swan. Um, so yes, I came in after 2 days, long days. Um, I know on Friday We were there about 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and a little longer than that yesterday. And then going somewhere to eat, and it's up in Hartford, so almost an hour and a half each way. You know, it eats up a lot of time, and it's an awfully long time to be in a wheelchair. Let me tell you that. I am very sore after 2 days. I feel like I have been beaten with bats, but very worthwhile. And my voice is probably significantly lower because I was having a lot of conversations that had to carry through the louder ambiance of the conventions, the centers and stuff. So it's all worth it. And God, I shot over 900 photos that I have to sort through because tomorrow I'm going to work on writing reviews of the 2 days. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it as one review of both days or two separate reviews. I got so many good pictures, I may even do a separate thing of just a gallery of various good shots. And oh man, was I treated like gold. Some people, once they found out who I was, which is embarrassing. Yeah, I'm this guy that colored Spider-Man and stuff like that. There were people that, you're John Wilcox? Can I take your picture? Can we get a picture with you? Sure, of course you can. Um, it was beautiful, just all around, and met so many nice people, and even each day had a different dog at it too, service dogs, and they were wonderful. Um, but while I'm there, let me tell you a few important things while we're on this subject. The people that work there, the staff, I don't think people necessarily thank them enough, but I went out of my way because they make sure it runs smooth. They make sure that your experience is what you want it to be and isn't clouded by trash, by, you know, out of things that are off to the side of your mind because you're focused on what you're focused on. These people make sure you're able to do that, to the best, whether it is cleaning up stuff or giving someone a direction or, helping, how do I get from here to there? And they have very courteous, tireless staff. I was talking with people yesterday at the Lost and Found, and they said that people had reported they had lost over 100 items right at that moment, close to 200 items, that they had people helping them locate them so that the people come away with a very enjoyable experience. So these are things, and I made it a point. I shook a lot of hands and I thanked a lot of people, and I'm only sorry that I didn't do even more. And I would suggest to you, if you do a live event, be it a convention or whatever, take a moment and find someone that's on staff like this. They had neon green shirts on. Staff are usually easy to find, and they said staff. Say thank you. It's really simple, and watch the smile you get. Um, Appreciate the people. I've got to tell you, by the way. So afterwards, my friend Suzanne and I wanted to get something to eat. Uh, because all we had a delicious Japanese, what they call pan, which is a Japanese bread. Suzanne had bought one called Hokkaido pan, and she broke it in half. We sat down in a little area, and it's basically, they call it a milk bread, but it had some kind of like mild sweetness, little bit of filling with it too. It was like eating a buttery cloud. It was beautiful. I wish I could have those. I saw. It's funny because they were $4 a piece. So I unfortunately I didn't buy. I only spent, I think, over both days at the con something like $9, $10, something like that. That's it. Because I don't have the money to do that. But that doesn't mean I had any less enjoyment. I had plenty of enjoyment. But this was so tasty. But anyway, I digress. So we were hungry, and I said, why don't we take a chance? We're on 91, and there was a sign for Durham and Yalesville. So I said, well, let's get off there, see what we can find. And we're driving in there, and it's like this endless maze of beautiful country roads with lovely houses. And the closest we saw was like a honey farm, beautiful honey farm. And so we're like, oh, come on, there must be something. And we were just about to give up, and we made a turn, and we ended up, we were going to go in this Chinese restaurant, but it was a orders only. You couldn't sit down. So we went a couple of doors over to this place called Carini's Italian cuisine. And let me tell you, I don't eat Italian out a lot because I am half Italian and I know the difference, but it was great. And we had a fantastic waitress named Casey who I made sure I said, let me see your left hand. And sure enough, she had a ring on it because I knew a person with that kind of personality and she was adorable and all that. If she was single, it was by choice, you know. But she was a sweetheart and made our experience wonderful, and we made her laugh. And Suze had ordered a veggie calzone, and it was, I kid you not, it was that big. It was almost like 20 inches of calzone, and she ate a third of it and then brought the rest, and she said, oh, this is great because I can eat it on the road because I'm sorry, I'm one huge sinus at the moment. um, I've neglected to mention Suzanne came specifically to see me and see the con and drove in from Indiana, and this morning she's heading back to Indiana. So that is love and devotion and friendship. And Pete came from upstate New York. So a haul for both, who wonderfully found me worthwhile, to do that. Because I have many friends here in Connecticut who don't. Can't be bothered. But there's so much that I wanted to get into, but I realize I'm going to start rambling here. So I'm going to wrap this up and say I had a beautiful time. Um, I'm going to write reviews and I'll find a way. Maybe I'll come back and I'll put a link under this video later in the week. So if you want to see more detail about the conventions, I will put the link or links there. So I hope you all had a wonderful week. I'm sorry I'm a day late. I'm definitely not a dollar short. Had some wonderful stuff going on. And I will see you next Saturday at our regularly appointed same bat time, same bat channel. Love you all. Bye bye.